In this video, I'm talking about the Akashic Records. It's an idea from spirituality where all knowledge, thoughts, feelings, and records of reality from the past, present, and future of all events, and not just human, exist in the spiritual plane, and you can access them through spirituality. Imagine for a second the possibilities. If you can access these records and peruse the book of your life and know what's coming next, you could become superhuman. If knowledge is power, then you can become a god. Does that sound good to you? Great, then stick around because it's all coming up right after this. Hey everyone, welcome back to Real Wizardry, where we make your life more magical. I'm Neil, it says so down there, and I'm going to be your magical host. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to access the Akashic Records. What are they, and what can they do to help us progress in our own lives? The idea of the Akashic Records, or the Hall of Records, is an ancient one. Originally, it was thought to be a repository of all knowledge in the universe, or a gigantic cosmic library, if you like.
The whole core of the planet is the index computer, biggest hard drive ever. And up here, every book ever written.
The theory goes that all knowledge is stored in this hall, and it's not just knowledge you know, it's knowledge you don't know, knowledge you could never know unless you access the library, the hall, the Akashic Records. So if you can access it, you'll be able to read the future, understand the past, know things about yourself and others, any subject on Earth or any other planet, and even understand the universe itself. Literally anything you want to know. Historically, you can see attempts to recreate the Akashic Records, and they've had limited success throughout the years. From the hoarding of knowledge of the ancient Chinese emperors to the Library of Alexandria, these methods of knowledge accumulation have never really stuck. But there is one attempt that might just hold the secret to getting close to the Akashic Records. It's the internet. I know this is a poor substitute, and don't panic, we'll get back to the Akashic Records in just a moment, but let's pause for a second and look at the internet, and specifically the World Wide Web. That's the part of the internet where web pages live. The rest is just email, apps, cloud computing, Internet of Things like Amazon Echo and Google Home, and yes, even your automatic smart toaster that cooks bread when you come home from the gym. Oh, is that just me? When the web was first popularized in the late 1990s, I immediately saw how phenomenal it was going to be. The human race has built the Akashic Records. That's something I've been researching since before the 90s, by the way. And it's spread across the whole world very quickly, making it pretty much free to access for everyone. And we all own it and can contribute to it and use it openly to record and spread our thoughts to those open to exploring them. Yet there is something missing. Yes, the World Wide Web is phenomenal. The internet, fantastic, and as a YouTuber, obviously, I'm a fan, but the Akashic Records promise more than that. Imagine being able to locate a book of your life and reading it. I recently read a book called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. If that name sounds familiar, by the way, it's because he also wrote A Boy Called Christmas, a book that's now a movie and due for release later on this month, on the 26th of this month, and no, this video isn't sponsored, unfortunately. In The Midnight Library, Matt Haig talks about the shelves of books being organised and infinite. Subtle differences in each and every book, with dramatic differences between the choices we make and the outcomes at the end, or perhaps not such great changes at times. I'm not going to spoil the book, but it is a good one, so check it out and the link is down in the description. Now, the Akashic Records are similar to Matt Haig's Midnight Library, but it's like a library of libraries. If each shelf in the Midnight Library contains all possible lives that you could have lived in the past, present, and future of that life, written for you to read, the Akashic Records is like a library where all the books are those libraries for every living thing and every non-living thing, and each of those libraries has infinite possibilities. But it's more than that too. It's not just a library of libraries, it's that, but for all planets, entities, and civilizations in the entire universe for all time. So it's like a library where every book is a library of libraries. The mind just boggles at the size of it. Okay, so you get it. All knowledge that is, has, will be, might be, won't be, and could be for all times and all places about everything that has ever existed, does exist, will exist, could exist, that might have been thought of, that has been thought of, that will never be thought of, that will be thought of. Oh! It contains godlike knowledge. I've been teasing you throughout this video that you can access this knowledge, and if you've watched this far into the video, I think you deserve that. You deserve to know what it's all about, but how can you access this knowledge? Okay, there are a few steps to follow, so follow me. Number 1, seek that knowledge. I know it sounds silly, but you're watching this video, so you've already taken the first step. You want to know more, so be curious, forever curious, seek knowledge and want to learn. That way you'll get smarter every day anyway, but you want to level up, right? You don't just want to have earthly knowledge, you want more than earthly knowledge. No worries, let's cover that off next. But for now, before we move on, remember that any building needs a foundation to be solid. So let's not neglect step 1. Build a solid footing and only step off once you've got to what you think is sufficient knowledge that you can then start to add more to it. Number 2, meditation. Meditation is traditionally the way mystics and holy men of antiquity would access the Holy Hall of Records, or the Akashic Records. I'm not being sexist here either. There seemed to be no record of holy women even attempting this. Perhaps our history glosses over such things, but if you're a lady and you fancy trying this, go ahead and let me know how you get on just down in the comments. To use meditation, clear your mind and focus on your desired knowledge. What do you want to know? Perhaps the hardest part to know is what to ask for. Perhaps this is actually a good place to start. Number 3. Use spells if you think it'll help. I've said in other videos, like the one linked up here, that spells work, and I believe that they do, that they're very powerful psychological tools to help you in life. In fact, I saw something on Facebook today saying a lot of people believe that witchcraft is Satanism, but it's just spicy psychology. I like that, spicy psychology. So spells are very powerful psychological tools to help you in life, and I see no reason why this shouldn't be the same now for accessing the Akashic Records either. Simply cast a spell of your choosing before or after your meditation, perhaps even both. Probably don't do it during though, and you may find that the answer just comes to you easily. Number 4, ask others. I know it may be a little uncomfortable to ask others, but everyone has a tacit connection to the Akashic Records. I mentioned in my video You Are God, again linked up here, that there's a powerful idea that everyone comes from the world of spirit, and if that's the case, we all have a connection to the Akashic Records. So ask others for their help or their opinions. Remember to avoid negativity too though, and as I said in other videos like this one linked up here, you might even want to consider cutting people out of your life if they're not providing you with the right energy for your own growth. Number 5, spread your wisdom. Knowledge should not be hoarded. The tales of history tell us that when knowledge is hoarded like gold, people seek to steal it, or worse, destroy it. The Library of Alexandria was burned by a jealous Julius Caesar when he thought that he would lose his chance of getting it. But he wasn't the only one, just the first in around 1,000 years of constant arson during its existence and multiple attempts at sending it to its fiery fate. Thankfully, it looks like the World Wide Web is here to stay, and as base and juvenile as cat videos are, you also know, I hope, that you can find answers to pretty much anything online, and the reason that you're watching this video is because I shared it. So you should share your own knowledge and insights too. And talking of which, click that like button so that YouTube knows that it was a good video and more people should see it. If you're new and you haven't already done so, subscribe and ding that bell so that you never miss out on a single magic minute. A big shout out to these amazing people. They're my members and patrons from Patreon and YouTube, and they help me out every single month. If you want to become one of these amazing people, head on down to the links in the description where you can join from as little as £1.99 per month. Okay, I'll be back next time with some more magical awesomeness, but until next time, as always,
Stay magical.